Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we're going to start touching, if you look at the assignment for Module 2, we're going to start talking about creating paragraphs for text, which we've already did. We're going to use some division tags, div tags. We're going to style elements such as font size, color, etc. We're going to set up a table. We're going to create a horizontal navigation bar on the left, or a vertical bar or like some type of navigation bar. So we have to learn how to do that. And lastly, commit our code to Git, like we've been doing. Deploy it to our environment, and then push it up. Well, deploy it to our FileZilla environment and so forth. So let's get started. We'll go back to our page that we already have. So we'll just keep continuing on our page. So we already have a paragraph, so we already completed that pretty well. But now we're going to add some styles, some div tags. So if you read the book about div tags, what is a div tag? Well, it's a way to separate something. It's nothing more than just a container or a unit, a way to do something different. So if I did a div tag right here, let's say I did div and this right here. And let's say that I had, I don't know, something in here, and I said, Raptors won the NBA championship, and then I close it, but then I copy this right here, paste it below it, and we'll say Lakers won the NBA championship, and saved it. It just shows it right here. All it's doing is these guys are just in separate locations. That's all that's happening. So let's change it around a little bit. Let's take this out right here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add some style to it. So I'm going to do style, which automatically comes up. It's a CSS. And I am going to do background, color, background, and color. And then we'll do colon. I'm going to say light blue. So that way it's something that'll work out well when I hover over it, okay? And so right here, and what we could do here is just make this a header instead. So let's make it header 3 and close it. There we go. And let's say a paragraph on it below it and say the real north. Hold on. All right, so we'll say the real north is Toronto, not Game of Thrones. And we'll close our div tag out, save it, and look at that. Now we've highlighted that, and it allows us to highlight. You can change the color to something else. Let's see if light yellow is one. Save it. Let's see, it's very light. I like blue better. Blue looks better, I think. Yeah, it really picks it out really well, if you ask me. So let's say that we want to add some text to, this is a cool app, for example. So right now it's black, but maybe we want to change it to something else, okay? So we'll come up to the header, and we're going to put something called style in. Type in style, and then we'll close style. So we have an ending and closing point of it. And what we're going to do is use some CSS, okay? So I'm going to type in body. Here's the body. And we'll do color, and we'll say blue. Blue is going pretty well. And then I'll put a semicolon at the end of it. And so this right here, we have body, color. We're describing that, hey, when we call this color guy, we're gonna make it blue. Okay, we could call it something else, but for now we'll start off with that. And it's only time we use the body. Anytime that we use the body, it's gonna be blue. Now, let's say that anytime we do a head1, H1 tag, we're gonna make sure that that color is a different color, maybe. Let's say that it's gonna be green. anytime that we do an H1 tag, we're saying that if there's an H1 used, then that value stays green. So right now, we see it's black, and we have an H1 tag here. So if this works properly, this will change to green. So let's save it. And look at that. It's green. This is a cool app. Now we could change it to something else as well. Let's say that we wanted to make it pink. All right, I like pink. Look at that, that's pink. So you could do pink, you could do purple, save it, doom. Look at that, it's purple now. You get my gist. Anytime in a body, we say it's blue. Now we already had it blue, so let's change it to something else, like orange. Save it. Now it's orange because it's in the body of it. So you see where I'm going with that. I don't like orange. I mean, I like orange, but not for this. So I'm gonna keep it blue. So blue works for that. So that shows you how to change some of your style. We did the font color. We could even do font size as well. So if we want to do a font size, we could change the font size. We could change the alignment as well. So anytime that we want to do alignment, we could change the alignment. So for example, let's say we want to add, let's see, let me think about this. Let's say that we want to change the alignment. Trying to think what we could do here. Thinking that we have purple here. I'm going to have to do semicolon. So let's say that we want to do the alignment, and we did text align, and say that anytime when it's H1, we'll do center. Type in center. So let's save it. And look at that, it moves it to the center. So anytime it's in H1, we could say left, which that's where it was at originally, hit save, boom, it's back over here. So that aligns the location of it where you want it to happen, okay? Hopefully that makes some sense. What else? Let's see here, we might want to change the font color, size of it. Some other things, so we're gonna just keep changing. Let's actually do the body. So we have blue, let's do maybe a P tag instead, since we have this P tag here. Or if we could change that around, say P, and we could give it a different color maybe as well. We'll say blue. Let's see if that works. Save it real quick. Well, it was already blue, so let's do green. All right, so it's green, that's fine, we'll leave it green. All right, so let's do some other stuff with it. Let's do font style. So you give it your own font style. What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be italics? You want it to be normal? So we'll do italics. Let's say we want to do font size. Okay, and let's say that what size do we want it to be? So you could put a specific by px in here. So we'll say it's 20px. Okay. And let's save it. Look at that. Now it's italics. It's and you could keep changing it up. And as you see, all I'm doing is putting this information in here. Later on, we'll set up our own file and call it like style.css and make changes like that. But for the most part, this right here is doing everything that we need it to do. Okay, so I'll let you read the book on how to do all this, but I wanted to give you some information on how to at least get started. So we've talked about font size, color, etc. Table. Table is interesting, so let's do this. Let's go down here. Let's create a new div tag. Just typical div tag. Now we need to set up a table. So we can type in table, And we need to have a closing space for table as well. Then we want to have a TR. So that's TR is for row. So you need a row. And then we need a cell. We could type in TD. And then I could type in something like P for paragraph. And type in, let's see here, June. And if I do another TD, it's going to go across. It's going to go to the next month. So we'll say July. You'll see. So let's save this. All right, so you have June and July. It doesn't look fancy, but it is in a table and it's going across. So it allows us to put information. So if I wanted to put an image next to that, I could put an image next to that and so forth. Now, let's say that I want to put August and September, but I want to put August under June and September under July. How would I do that? Or let's do this, 2019, 18, or let's say 19, and 2019. But now we want to do 2020. So how would we do that? Well, we'd have to just copy this location here, keep it in the same table, and then we'll just change the year. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll save it. And there you go. Now they're on top of each other because it's just another row on top of that row, which goes into a column. Okay. So now that allows us some flexibility. All right. So now we have that going, which is good. Very good information. All right. So now we included a table. Now, the last thing in this chapter is talking about how to create a horizontal navigation bar or a vertical navigation bar, which is pretty cool. Something simple for now. So here's our body. Let's do a UL for underline. And we have to close it out. Oops. And let's put some information in here. So we'll do an LI for link. We'll do a href, which is a hyperreference, and then we'll just give it some common name. We'll say home, and then we will do home, and we'll do a \a for the end of our hyperlink, and then \li for our link. Now I could tell you guys to write this code out, but I think copy and pasting it is easier. So we'll say home. What else? Maybe, let's see here. Photos. What else can we have? Classes. And lastly, we could have hobbies. Okay. And we'll change names to photos. This is what will be seen like that. Classes, and this is just the links, and hobbies. So if I save it, now I have this awesome menu, which is not really awesome, but it's a way to get started, our first menu. So let's get used to checking some of our code in, which I've failed to show you all this stuff. I'm checking stuff in and doing different things. So let's actually check some of this stuff in. So let's save this, get accustomed to doing this because I expect you to do it when you're doing it in class. All right, so let's do this. Yeah, sure. So easy way of doing it. We know that it's happening here because look at the timestamp. I'm going to use terminal for this. To me, it's easier. All right, so I'm doing a copy index.html and I just move it to my first repo. So it just copies it over there. It should. It did, but timestamp's different. No, it just didn't refresh. It did refresh. So I think you have to do a force for it to happen. replace. All right, so that should have the new one. Okay, it does. All right, perfect. All right, so now let's go over into terminal. So we're going to terminal, and we know that you want to make sure that you are in your repo, or you won't see your changes. All right, what the heck? All right, it shows that. All right. I am in there. Okay. All right, so it shows. Let me do that. So it shows that I did something. So I'll do get status. If I do get add dot, get commit. Oh shoot, messed up. You commit I put add more code. 49 insertions. That makes sense. And then get push origin. And so now it pushes it out to the repo. Refresh it. As you see, I have more information in here. I come onto my contribution here. I have one contributor. I can see my commits. These are every time I check the code in. So you want to get used to checking the code in every time we make changes and so forth. So I just wanted to tell you that. All right, so getting back to our navigation menu. Let's change it around a little bit, because personally don't like how it looks. I think it looks kind of crazy. Because right now we got this right here. And I personally don't like it. So, we can add some type of background color to it and try to make it look somewhat fancy. So, let's do that. All right, so we have underlinks here. So let's create an underlink section here. So let's do this. Come down here and do UL. And we'll say list style. Oops. Maybe style. And we'll give it a type and we'll call it none. And then we'll give some margin on it, which will be 0. We'll do some padding. That will also be 0. Now we also need a link too. So we'll come down here and do an LI. As you see right here, it's getting really crazy with all this stuff. This is why later on we have our own page set up. So we'll say, how are we going to display it? We're going to say in a block mode. Okay. What is the width going to be? And we'll say 60px. You could change it based off of what you think. And what's the background color going to be? I don't know. Let's make it all like a grayish. So I'll put HTML color there. And okay, let's save it. See what it looks like. All right, so it has like a gray background to it. So it's not too crazy. It's actually awful. If this is like 1992, 95, 96, this would have been great. So let's make it a little bit better though, I think. Because I don't like how it looks. Maybe you guys like how it looks. Let's give it a little bit more flair. So let's go back. So let's actually have an instance of this. Okay. So let's do this. We know it changed here at 917. Let's copy it. Paste it in here. Place it. Where's my terminal at? There it is. Clear it. So let's do a get status. Yep, so it's been changed. Commit. And this is what we're looking to do. Edit first menu. Actually, second part of menu. And then we'll do a push origin. We just keep our stuff up to date. So all we're doing is keeping a commits. Create our second part of the menu. So now we're gonna create our third part of the menu right here. Okay. So we're gonna try to change this menu up a little bit more. So we're gonna go back into the UL. We have the style type. We'll keep it none, margin, padding, all that. So now what we're gonna do is add a width to it. And our width will be 200px. And then we're gonna do a background color. And we're gonna use something different. We're gonna do F1, 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 you'll see. Our link is gonna be a little bit different. We had the background color for the link. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna put some padding in here. We're gonna say padding, HPX, and 16, so 16 and 8. And we're gonna do text decoration. Oops. And our text decoration will just be none. Perfect. All right, now we need to change it. We want it to hover over it when it hovers, so we're gonna add a new feature. So we have an LI here, which we already have LI. So now we're gonna say, here we're gonna use a tag and say, change the hover over, change the link color. Hover over, okay. There we go. And then we can do LI, A, hover, space, and we'll give it a background color, something else. So in this case, I'll just do pound pi by 5, and we'll say color is white. Perfect. All right, so let's save it and see what that looks like. All right, where are we at? All right, look at that. Now it's starting to get a little bit more fancier. Now it's highlighting it over a little bit. So that's good. We're making some really good progress. So let's change it a little bit more now. Let's say that if we get active, it makes it activated and lets it stay on that area. Okay, so for example, if we did an active, let's choose a starting point. So home should be our starting point, if that makes sense. Okay. So what we need to do here, oops, where's our code at? All right, so we need to have an active position. So let's go underneath here. Just keep building onto it and say active and an article. And we can do background color. And we can say equals pound 4 CAF 50. And then color is white. And let's see what that looks like. If that looks anything. Let's make, instead of white, because that's bad, let's make it green. Oh, that didn't work either. Did I put it wrong? Oh, I put it in the wrong location. So I just said active, and it doesn't really specify it anywhere. We want to have, we have to change some stuff around a little bit. So you see where I have link at? We have to put an A here. And then the link active, I'm just going to copy this right here. Oops. So let's do this, cut this out. Let's go underneath here. And let's do an L. So this is link. A.active. There we go. I messed it up. L-I-A. Just want it to be that right there. LA active. Background color looks the same. Color. Just make it white for now. See. Now we're gonna do a colon, but not. We're saying when it's active, don't hover over it. So we can do active. It passes a parameter. So when it's active, don't do anything. Alright, so we have that, background color, 5s, that, and then we have our color white, and then we have that right there. Something, especially here, doesn't like something. Oh, I think I know why. Because I have the style up here for 2 different styles. And I think it's getting confused. That's why it's not working. That's exactly why it's not working. Alright, so we have H1P1. So let's do this. So I'm adding a different style here because it doesn't like what we had there. Oh my God. Still doesn't like it. So I'm going to set up another page as an example page. I'll call it test HTML. And all we're going to do here is just copy my code from that same screen. We already have over here. I'll put it over here to make sure it works. So sometimes you have to break it outside of the location. So we'll just say H2. What do we have over there? This is a cool app. We'll grab this code from here just to test it. Oh, you know what? I'm also missing ULs. Oh, we have them right here. So let's copy these guys out. Copy it. And that is going to be under the paragraph here. And I think that's almost it. We need to have a closing body and a closing HTML. There we go. Let's save it. It's not going to be updated yet. Let's do a test. There we go. A little better. Anyhow, so that helps you with your vertical. I want you guys to see if you could do a horizontal and actually get it to stay active. There's a little bit of a challenge there. But for the most part, we did everything that we're supposed to do in this time. So I just want to make sure that you check your code in, and that's it. And then you push it up to you deploy it, and you're good to go. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. Talk to you soon. Bye.